Well, first of all, I have to say the obvious, Max. Stay off the weed. Oh. I have to say that. Now, let me get a bit more serious about this. Max Kellerman, this is not cocaine. This is not heroin or something like that. I'm not being all serious because the drug of choice is serious. I'm being serious because of the stupidity. And it does something to me, man. So let me get this straight. You want to smoke some weed. It's the off season. Because remember, I have no problem with weed used for medicinal purposes. I have a problem with it being used for recreational purposes during the season. The season is over. Brooklyn is done. All right, fine. No problem. It's the off season. Have a ball. You're about to go to Louisville, Kentucky. We all know you trying to go to the Derby, going to see your dad and all that stuff. That's nice. But you're really going to the Kentucky Derby because ain't no way in hell you're going to be in Kentucky this weekend and not try to go to the Kentucky Derby. But I understand all of that. So what do? You take this, Max Kellerman, and you hide some weed in an iced tea bottle compartment through LaGuardia Airport. Max Kellerman, it gets better. When you are walking into this summer fresh off of an all-star appearance with Sean Marks and Coach Kenny Atkinson praising you for leading the Brooklyn Nets to the playoffs, praising your leadership, praising your conditioning, and everything in between. They're praising you. Max, you're going into the summer as a restricted free agent, which means it's possible that you can garner attention from somebody who might be willing to overpay you, forcing Brooklyn to match those dollars in order to keep you. Or they might not match it, and Brooklyn might be willing to lose you, and you'll go someplace else to make more money. All of this is going on in your life. And you allow yourself to get caught up at LaGuardia Airport with some weed. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. You can't make this stuff up. I understand everybody's position, including yours, Max, on marijuana. And I'm of the mindset, I don't want to see anybody on the court okay, while they playing. I get all that. But, I understand, but that's not what we're talking about here. I'm disgusted, Max, because how do you put yourself, you're approaching free agency, you've just been praised, you couldn't wait until you got to Kentucky.
I got you, Stephen A. I got you. Man. You're going to lose. You're taking an L. They're going to have to stop this fight. Look, number one, I have to do this every time we bring up the prohibition which persists against cannabis, though it's crumbling, right? It's legal in New York and L.A. and all over the place it's legal. There are people that we know, colleagues of ours in that business who are getting rich. There are people in the NBA and former NBA players that are getting totally legal business. Former politicians and on the right and left getting rich in that business. There's a huge market for it, and it's now regulated. Okay. The reason prohibition persisted even in a way until now on cannabis, but it ended for alcohol. Remember, they were both prohibited till 33. Then prohibition for alcohol ended, cannabis persisted, is because there was propaganda put out by the United States government that played on racist and xenophobic fears. Harry S. Anslinger, the first drug czar of this country, marijuana makes the darker races feel they're equal to the white man. Propaganda like this, government propaganda. United States government propaganda, lies, based on nothing. It is still classified as a Category 1 drug. Lies. It's not, by the own definition of Category 1. It's simply not, and yet it persists on the books as Category 1. It's not Category, Schedule 1. Schedule 1, which is ridiculous and should not be. I mean, the government can't say that the sky is pink, and it's on the books, the sky is, no, it's not, it's blue. We can see it's blue. You can't define something as Schedule 1 and then just shove something that clearly doesn't fit the definition. By lying about it. No, we insist that it's there. We're just insisting that it's there. So there's a lot of hypocrisy built around cannabis. For example, DAngelo Russell, it's illegal, even though it's legal in the state in which you are possessing it, and it could be legal in the place to where you're going, right, where you're going, but it's illegal to bring it through the airport because that's federal, and it's not federally legal totally yet. And yet, once you get on the plane, they'll serve you alcohol, which every study ever done tells you is worse for you than cannabis. Right now, you say, yeah, Max, I get all that. And even your point about, I don't want to see anyone high on the court. Why does it make it legal? How does that lead to people being high on the court more than being drunk on the court, right? There are things they can do that are not, that are legal that would affect their play on the court. You don't seem to have an objection to alcohol, but yes to cannabis. Now, here's where your argument always hinges, the money. Why are you costing yourself money? I'm going to tell you right now, this will not cost DAngelo Russell a dime. Every team that wanted to sign him for X number of dollars, there's not going to be a bidder that now falls out that would have otherwise paid him. And if there is, then there'll be another bidder that would pay him the same amount. So he's not going to lose any money over this, really, Stephen A. So now what's the argument?
Couple of things. Actually, a few things, because there's a litany of issues that I have with various arguments that you made. Number one, please stop misrepresenting my position and acting as if I say alcohol is okay. My point is anything that's not okay, get rid of all of it. That's been my position.
You want to go back to prohibition?
No. What I'm saying to you is the argument that you made when you said, what about alcohol then? I said to you, I don't give a damn if, as a league, you prohibit it all. I don't care. You know, I'm not asking for marijuana to be treated more harshly than alcohol or anything like that. That's all I'm saying about that, number one. Number two, Max, that's easy for you to say because you're taking a very altruistic view in all of this because you're talking about right and wrong. I'm not disagreeing with you about all the particulars that you pointed out about prohibition and beyond. I'm not disagreeing with you about the hypocrisy of it all. But what I am trying to say is this. At the end of the day, let them okay it.